there is a man by the name of Terry Thompson who lived in Zanesville, Ohio. He was in a heap of financial debt and he was severely depressed. One day in October in 2011, before taking his own life, he released his collection of 56 wild animals. His collection included lions, bears, wolves, monkeys, you name it. Now authorities shot and killed 49 of the 56 animals in order to protect the public. This could have been prevented 100% had he not been able to legally obtain these animals. Today I want to explain to you why people should not be able to own or try and domesticate wild animals. I'll give you some background data regarding the private ownership of these animals, as well as the dangers that they bring to the public and how the owners of these animals neglect them. I'll start off with some background data. State regulations can fall into one of 5 categories: a complete ban, a partial ban, a required license or permit, no license or permit with few regulations, or no regulations whatsoever. BornForUSA.org reports that 28 of the 50 states have a ban or partial ban of private ownership of these animals. In 2 states, there are no regulations whatsoever, meaning that people have to go in and register their dogs, but they can have a tiger in the basement with no regulations. Now, when I mean exotic animal, I don't only mean the big cats and non-human primates, but I'm also talking about prairie dogs, ferrets, and hedgehogs. These don't have a high risk of physical harm, but they do spread diseases. USLegal.com defines exotic animal as an animal not native to the United States or introduced from abroad. It lists, but not limited to, lions, tigers, leopards, elephants, kangaroos, some breeds of cattle, and the list goes on. Wildlife research estimates that there are 20.3 million individuals owning an exotic animal. And there are about 13 million reptiles, 15,000 big cats, 15,000 non-primate humans, and 2,000 bears privately owned in the States. Wildcat Sanctuary, the Wildcat Sanctuary reports that there are some few organizations that have gone to Congress to pass legislation protecting these animals. Some of these include the Captive Wildlife Safety Act, the Lacey Act, and Animal Welfare Act. This type of legislation helps to prohibit interstate transport or the selling or purchases across state borders. And they also try and set standards of care and treatment for the animals. Now moving on to how they have a risk of endangering the public. Now there's 2 types of risks. There's public health and public safety. National Geographic says that with the lack of proper diet, environmental needs, and socialization, these animals become very dangerous. They become agitated and territorial. And there have been, between the years of 1990 and 2012, there has been reported 543 injuries and 75 deaths of people due to a wild animal attack. An article from the Michigan State University says that animals such as prairie dogs, snakes, and monkeys pass diseases such as monkeypox, tularemia, which is a bacterial disease, salmonella, and herpes. These diseases can be passed not only by scratches and bites, but also just from hugging and kissing the animal. Now, these are wild animals, meaning that they have predatory instincts, and like I said, they become very territorial. So, at any given moment, the animal can become agitated if they feel uncomfortable, and just like that, they snap. And it's the difference between when, I recognize that a domesticated dog can also turn on their owner, but there's one thing when a lion's coming at you and they feel agitated than when it's just your dog. Now moving on to how these animals are neglected. The Humane Society says that most of these exotic animals are prematurely removed from their mothers, meaning that they're taken away within days or even hours of birth. This denies them proper nutrition and natural socialization. These animals need to grow up in packs in order to learn normal behavior. Some of these owners try and control these wild animals, which is ironic. That's what makes them wild, is they can't be controlled. But some people take extreme measures, such as tooth removal of monkeys, so that if the monkey were to bite, there would be no puncture wounds, so there's a less risk of spreading the disease. But it's the same as declawing a cat or taking away a dog's bark. That's their natural state, and it's just wrong to take them away from what their role is. These animals are mostly isolated, so they're kept in cages or very small enclosures. Like wild animals are meant to roam around. Normally they'd have acres and acres of land, but now they're being kept in cages and very, very small enclosures. So they're not able to run wild and free. Like I went to the San Diego Safari Park, and they have this cheetah run where in every hour they have this very, very, very long strip where they let cheetahs run by, and when they're being kept in cages, they're not able to do that. They don't have the proper environment. The Humane Society says that there are 5,000 to 7,000 tigers kept as pets, which is more than there are in the wild, and more than there are in zoos. The National Geographic reports that between 1990 and 2012, there were 55 injuries and 200 deaths of these animals. In conclusion, despite the countless accidents and evidence showing that they endanger the public as well as these animals are neglected themselves, this is still popular and common and fairly legal in the United States. And there should be more publicized. This should be more publicized in order to protect these animals.
Probably had the words inverted. Probably meant non-human primates. You know.
Non-primate humans. That's kind of racist. Non-primate humans. I'm an African-American history.
So we determined that Jacob Roman is not here. Is that correct? All right.
I'm here.
Let's see. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. Sam is here. Yeah, Sam, you're supposed to do this.
I thought that your opener was effective. It worked, and I thought that you had really good facts. They were all relevant, and they helped develop your credibility. So that was good. I heard all of your transitions, so that gave us nice signposts to know where you were at, and you had the good organizational structure. So I knew where you were going with everything, so it was easier to follow. Your citations were all good. I heard them all. They all seemed like they were credible sources, so that's good. I would say two things that you need to work on are your eye contact. You make eye contact with us, but I feel most of the time you're looking down, not really at us. So I don't think you read from your notes a lot. It's just your eye contact maybe needs to be more at us. And you kind of moved around a lot, but I think that was just probably out of nervousness. So I don't think that was a big deal. So yeah.
All right, well, let me start with the end thing. I did think it was a big deal. That's one of those things that you want to watch out for, because you've got good content here. You've got a subject that you're interested in and that the audience wants to relate to, and you want people to listen to you, but you look awkward while you're standing there. You cross your legs repeatedly. You kind of swivel at the hips in an interesting way once in a while, and it just, you don't quite look comfortable. You don't look like you are confident and speaking to us from a position of authority, but rather like you're undergoing or enduring an experience and you're just trying to get through it the best you can. And you know, with the training that you've had, with the exercises that we've done, I was hoping that everybody would be a little bit better here. That's something that you're going to have to work on. On the other hand, I didn't have a problem with the eye contact. I thought you were pretty solid for the most part. Only having to look at the notes occasionally, I thought that was good. You have kind of a quiet voice, but I thought you used a good variety in that voice. Sometimes the pacing is a little bit off. It feels like there might be some slight hesitations here or there, or there's some inconsistency, some places where you were much more fluent than others. If you were doing this speech repeatedly, let's say you were trying to warn kids about this kind of stuff, or you were doing the presentation at schools or something like that, you would probably get over that and it would all just flow much more smoothly. And so that's kind of the way we wanted to go. Sam noticed the transitions in the signposts in the speech, and I did too, so it's organized. That part is good. I just thought that the transition seemed a little ham-fisted at this point. They need to be a little bit smoother. You're doing the right thing. It's like the technical thing. You know that you're supposed to be doing this, but there's a difference between knowing the technical thing and being able to do it smoothly. It's like when you learn to drive. Did anybody learn to drive using that SMOG acronym?
Yeah.
Signal, mirror, over shoulder, go when safe, that kind of thing. When you're first doing it, it's like a mechanical kind of thing. You go through that and you go, okay, signal, check my mirror, look over my shoulder, and then go kind of thing. And you know you're doing the right thing, but it isn't natural. You kind of have to go through the process. I can see that that's where you are. You've got the skill, but you are not skillful in presenting it. And that's just another thing that comes with time and practice. So you'll get there if you keep doing speeches, if you take those opportunities when you get the chance. I know a lot of people, I want to get the speech class out of the way so I never have to do that again. You should be going the other direction. I've taken this speech class. I now know how to do these things. I should take those opportunities when they come up, because that's the thing that's going to make a difference for you in the long run. And I can see that you are doing good things in the speech. You just need to work on those things, and you're going to need a little bit more practice than I'm going to be able to give you a chance to do in here. All right, thank you.